Mahomes. Man open, that's Marquez Valdez-Scantling. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. A good pickup there, 26 yards.
Well, that certainly has to feel good. It's not all the time that the play caller should get all the credit. Sometimes I think in the huddle, the quarterback just says, hey, who's going to make a play for me? I just need something right here. And the end result there, nice first down. Drive keeps moving.
Down to about the 45. Well, this defense for the Chargers, they were terrific last week in the win over Denver.
And no matter what's done throughout a ball game, it always comes back to blocking and tackling. That's the essence of football. But I think it's hard for people to understand just how difficult it is to tackle, especially open field. Very few missed tackles on tape that I saw last game. This team does a nice job of getting their opponents on the ground.
Pacheco gets it again on second down. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. It's a loss of 4. Now third down.
This defense is a difficult one to prepare for, one of the best in the league. They'll come at you from all angles, and they did a nice job there stopping him for a loss.
Backed up here, tough spot, needing 11 yards to pick up the first. Throwing is Mahomes on third. And that is incomplete.
Oh, man, for him to be that wide open and drop it. Sometimes you have just too much time on your hands, right? You end up thinking way too much, and your hands get shaky.
And yes, he's a tight end, but that's a catch he should have made. On is the punter Townsend as he gets this one away. And this one will not be returnable as it sails out of bounds. Herbert and the Chargers now with a 1st and 10 at their own 26.
Ready.
They started on the ground with Eckler. Room here to run. Down the left sideline. Inside the 20. Austin Eckler. Touchdown, LA. Austin Eckler with his 13th rushing touchdown on the year. And the Chargers will jump on top of the game's first score here this afternoon. And with his speed, if he just finds the slightest crease, he can take it the distance like he did there.
How about the leverage up front? Offensive line out-leveraging the defensive front to create that space, that crease that he was looking for. And once he hits open field, he's going to be very difficult to catch and corral.
After the roughing penalty on the PAT, they'll kick off from 15 yards further upfield. Little flip of fortune. They had a chance to possibly pin him deep, but out of bounds, and now they'll start at the 40. Pacheco gets it and tries the left side. And the second wave of tacklers is going to get him as they stop him behind the line. Asante Samuel Jr. there finding his way to the ball for a stop and a tackle behind the line of scrimmage. The opening play of the drive goes backwards. Now they'll come up on 2nd and 12. Now Mahomes. Oh, that's into double coverage and intercepted. Derwin James with a pick. He's on his way. And they will finally put it into the return, but not until he takes it back all the way inside the 10-yard line.
Oh, timing is everything on a route like this. He tried to drive that football into a tight spot. And if you're a little early or a little late, chances are there's going to be someone there. And sure enough, this one's going the other way.
After the turnover, here's Herbert sliding out of the pocket. And he's in. Charger touchdown. Justin Herbert taking it in from 7 yards away. And the Chargers are able to strike quickly to add on to their lead.
That's a really good decision right there outside of the pocket. You've got to know the right time to shift from passer to runner. He was looking and looking. Nothing there. You can almost feel the brainwaves firing as he calculates. I think I can win a race to the pylon. And he turns out to be right. Touchdown.
Cannon now elects to bring this out. And the decision to bring it out, not a good one, as he's tackled at the 15. The Chiefs' offense about set to begin this drive. They've been outplayed early, no question, down 14-0 already as they come up 1st and 10. And not much to speak of. Call it a 1-yard gain up to the 15.
Yeah, things were pretty stacked up there in the middle of the line. A lot of bodies, not much space. I think ultimately he was fortunate to get anything out of that run.
2nd and 9. To throw, it's Mahomes. Will get this one to Kelsey. That's complete. And they work this well upfield across the 45. That goes for a gain of 31.
Despite writing it down on my notes, I never give enough credit to the offensive line, and we have to here. The protection, that's what made this play a success. Quarterback had to wait for his crossing route to develop, and that takes a little bit of extra time. Excellent job by the big fellas up front.
And a good job of just fighting through one tackle there to pick up about 3. 2nd down coming up. When you talk about the defense for these Chargers, they come into this one ranked number 17, so just starting the bottom half of the league against the pass.
Defending the pass has not been one of their strong suits throughout the season, but if they have any hopes of making waves in January, they've got to improve in this area.
They fake the give. Now Mahomes. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. And the officials here going to pause the game for a second. Looks like there's an injured Chief on the field. And this is certainly not what you want to see in the final week of the year. We'll be back. So they just need 1 yard here to pick up the 1st down. On 3rd down, it's Pacheco. So he fought off the tackle, and that effort gives him the 1st before he's brought down.
I like this focus there because he wasn't thinking about breaking that one big. All he thought about was, I need 1. Let's go get that. Ended up picking up 2.
Throwing on 1st down is Mahomes. And hit behind the line. He lost the football. It's loose. Oh, one of the linebackers has got it. And they will set up shop at their own 41-yard line. Every week we hear talk about create turnovers. In particular, they wanted to force some fumbles. They got one right there.
And it shows you how the game has changed over time. It used to be good enough for a guy to get a sack and the quarterback in the pocket. Now, if you come to the sidelines and you didn't knock the ball free, your coaches are upset with you. All right, so if you're a quarterback, it starts all the way back in the youth leagues. Take care of the ball, take care of the ball, take care of the ball, because here come the defenders.
Justin Herbert looking to throw on 2nd down. And that is incomplete. A lot of force bearing down on him there. He could not hang on. It's 3rd down.
It's another zone defense. It looks like it's open for possibilities, but they did a nice job patrolling the middle of the field and forcing an incompletion.
An incomplete pass on 2nd down. It muddles things a little bit here. This is 3rd and 10. Here's Herbert. And that is incomplete.
That might be the 3rd down stop that they needed because they've had a lot of trouble slowing down this offense in the 1st half. This might be their opportunity to get off the field.
On is the punter Scott here as he gets this one away. Taking it about the 16. And just a net of 31 here. 40-yard punt, 9 on the return. And it's Chiefs football. 1st and 10. The KC offense out of the huddle, ready for their next drive. They find themselves in a good-sized hole here, and a good-sized hole early on in this game as they come up on first down. And this is incomplete. Oh, it looked like he had a pretty good line on that one. That would have been a big play, but he could not pull it in.
Concentration, so key on a ball like that. It's hard. I know how difficult it is, but that's a ball you've got to come up with. And instead, a big play is going to slip through their fingers, literally and figuratively.
And he'll be upended at the 28-yard line. Just a 3-yard gain there. When you talk about the defense for these Chargers, they come into this one ranked number 17, so just starting the bottom half of the league against the pass.
When they lack in pass defense, they do make up for in run defense. They're a top 10 unit against the people trying to move the ball on the ground. But this is a passing league, so there's a conundrum for them. How do they get better defending the pass?
From the gun on third down, Mahomes. Pass taken in by his big tight end. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. Now whistles and a flag down. Looked like one of the chief linemen might have moved. The false start backs him up 5, 1st and 15. From the gun, it's Mahomes. And this one is going to be off the mark, too far out in front.
I like what they tried to do there. They didn't get a completed pass downfield, but they came up with a momentum play. Big-time gain on the previous snap. Came right back and threw one deep, hoping to catch them on their heels.
Mahomes to throw on second down. And down he goes at the 45 after a pickup of 9. They'll need to get this to the 38. That's where the first down marker is here on third. Oh, and his early struggles continue. Here's another one intercepted. Picked up by the linebacker, Eric Kendricks. And he brings this one back. It's a pick 6 and a Charger TD. Charles, it is pretty rare that we see a team build this kind of lead in the opening quarter. And, man, they seem to be clicking on all 3 phases right there. The defense doing its part with a pick 6.
And it's absolutely been the definition of a start that you would pick for yourself and for your team, right? And I have a feeling that they just want to stay in this zone. What's truly incredible about this start is they can add on a couple more scores. This one could legitimately be over in the second quarter.
Cannon now elects to bring this out. And deep in his own territory, he coughs up the football. So a teammate picking him up there, that was nearly disaster.
And the way that you coach these things, you want to make sure you have eyes towards the return guy because you want to make sure that the catch is secured. A lot of teams do that. They have at least one guy. Okay, you're responsible for making sure he secures the catch. He's not always the one that makes the recovery, but he can always sound out the alarm. Hey, ball's on the ground. We've got to get it back.
Let's go now.
The Chiefs offense about set to begin this drive. Now remember, they were just out here a moment ago through the pick 6, so we'll see if they can take better care of the football this go around.
Yeah, and sometimes, partner, I think it's almost better that you just throw the pick 6 and you come right back out on the field. You're not over on the sidelines dwelling for it for very long. You're not hearing everyone say, hey, you'll get them next time. Hey, don't worry about it. All that stuff just goes right out the window. You're right back out on the field with a chance to atone.
21-0 our score after 1. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. Pacheco gets it up the gut. And not a whole lot of room to operate there on the first down run. He gets maybe 3.
Well, that's just a pile of bodies there, and that's when you kind of find out who's a tough guy, right? Who can stand up and make a play. It was only a 3-yard run, but for both sides, they had to walk away from that feeling like, okay, I can stand up when the going gets tough in here.
Well, they'll come up 2nd and 7.
Attack, attack.
Mahomes now to throw. He'll drop this off to Pacheco. And past the 35, he'll be dropped a yard or 2 shy of the 30.
And I don't think there's any question that this offense is going to need to hit on a few more plays like this. It's been a difficult first half for them, to say the least. And I do believe if they want to get back in this game, they need to start right now. It's kind of like making adjustments. If you try and wait until the half.
And it's intercepted at the goal line. Picked off by Asante Samuel Jr. And the Chargers are going to get the football here as he gets this up past the 20-yard line. A nightmare of a first half for him. That's now 3 interceptions. But Charles, with his talent, if anyone can shake this off and right the ship, it's him.
I agree, because you don't get to be one of the best quarterbacks in the league without developing some major mental toughness. So I expect him to go.
And now off to the races down the right side. And he's able to get this to the 40-yard line before he's out of bounds. 39 yards the distance covered on the catch and run.
This offense is looking very comfortable here in this first half. Very relaxed, very smooth, very efficient. No wasted motions. Things are definitely going their way, and they continue to move the ball downfield.
And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. 91 yards rushing for him here as he starts to draw closer to a 1,000-yard campaign. First down, and they stick with Eckler. He is taken down at the 21 after a short gain of 2.
It went right back to him, but he pretty much had nowhere to go on that play.
Well, the previous carry looked pretty good. That one, maybe he was a little tired. I don't know.
Yeah, maybe he should have tapped out and had a second back come in and maybe make that run. Who knows?
On second down, Eckler. Call it a gain of 5 that time, and they'll be left with a third and about 4.
But really, that was no surprise there. They've been running it well all game, and I know goals change all the time, but any team will take that type of run each and every time.
This now a third and 4. A play fake, and now Herbert to throw. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. Oh, and one of the linemen on the other side has got it. And they will take over at the 26-yard line. The pocket collapsed around him. I know we talk about it a lot, but a QB has to have that sixth sense, doesn't he?
He really does, and I know of one team at one point was training their quarterback with that time frame, and anytime he didn't get rid of the ball within the right amount of time, they would blow a horn or blow a whistle to show him this is what that time is, just what you're talking about, training him to understand this is the amount you have, make sure the ball's gone. Didn't happen in this case.
Maybe a good spot to take a shot. Here's second and a yard from the 34. Running left to give to Pacheco. And he still has yet to get on track in this first half as they're going to stop him behind the line. This offense on third down today, they've hit 2 for 4 thus far. Here it's 3rd and 2. And he will lose yardage here to the 31-yard line. Nothing doing on second and third down after that 9-yard gain on first. On fourth down, Tommy Townsend to punt for Kansas City. Davis now to return it. It'll be a 40-yard punt, 8 on the return, and it'll be Charger football here as they take over. The Charger drive about to get going. And last time, the fumble, the turnover. Now they still have the lead, but I don't think coaches care. The turnovers will bother them no matter what the scoreboard says.
That's the relief that you still have the lead. But coaches look at what if and what it should be. Turning the ball over when they've got a chance to score more points and increase the lead, that's what's going to affect them.
And they're also thinking to future weeks, maybe when the game's closer, right?
No doubt about it. You want to clean up everything. Let's just be honest about it. They want everything to be perfect at all times. They don't want to give up anything that's going to hurt their team.
Nowhere to go for Herbert, and he's going to go down. Chris Jones, what an effort from him on that play. Big tackle for a loss of 11. How to approach this? 3rd down and 16 yards to go. Herbert. And incomplete on the deep ball.
Zone coverage there, and they were playing deep. That makes it obviously a little bit harder to run by guys. And that time, there was not much of a window to get the ball in there, and it winds up incomplete.
And on fourth down, on is the punt team sending this one away. 1:57 to go in this first half on EA Sports. A reminder that when halftime rolls around, Jonathan Coachman will have all the highlights and analysis of this first half of play from our studios in Orlando. The KC offense out of the huddle, ready for their next drive. And this, you'd hate to say that a drive in the first half must end in points, but you're down 21-0. They're going to have to get something going fairly quickly.
I would agree totally with that, because if you're going to mount the comeback, it's going to have to come in bits and pieces. It doesn't just all come at one time, right? We haven't seen anything more than a 6-point touchdown ever in this game, right? So that's how it has to be done. Get points on the board now, start your comeback, but you're exactly right. Let's get it going right here in this spot.
On 1st and 10, here's Pacheco. And they get to him after a gain of 6 to the 46. A lot of running backs, a little bit of a disadvantage when you start talking MVP. Might not be the case this year. You think he's got a shot, don't you?
I do. I think he's got more than a shot. But what he's going to need here down the stretch this late in the season, he needs that big closing game, that game that we're all going to reflect on and go, oh, my goodness, did he put up a number, let's say 200 plus?
Mahomes throw brought in by Watson. And he's brought to the ground with another first down at the Chargers' 31-yard line. Here's Mahomes to throw. Nowhere to turn here, and he's going to go down. Back at about the 37-yard line. The Chiefs will use the first of their timeouts, as it'll come with 15 seconds to play in the first half. Work to be done here on 2nd and 16 after the sack. Looking to throw is Mahomes. Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete. Pressure really ratcheting up. They get the sack on first down, then a near sack. They got to him there just as it was leaving his hand.
Yeah, they might need to change their pass protection scheme a little bit. Maybe bring another guy into the backfield to help protect the quarterback, because that was awfully close.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. Then he takes a shot on the release, as this will be incomplete. A misconnection there. He's hit on just 50% of his passes thus far. That's not where you want to be. Now
you see the evolution of the game. You go back to the quarterbacks of old, 50% would be terrific because they threw the ball downfield almost every time they threw it. Now with the short passing game, you should be above 60% just to be in the average range.
Butker's kick here is good, and the deficit drops now from 21 down to 18. Well, the good news, at least they won't take that goose egg into the locker room. Maybe a little something to build on.
Yeah, it hasn't been the greatest of first halves for them, has it? But at least now, as you mentioned, they put some points on the board. And it's been funny in our experience watching games. Sometimes something as little as a field goal can change the fortunes of the team, and they could come out and look real sharp in the second half.
And only able to get this to the 19, so probably should have opted for the touchback. The Charger drive about to get going. And they'll have time for one play. That's it. 3 seconds to go before intermission. And they're just going to run it here up the middle. Gets past one man. Time for a break. We've hit halftime. 2 quarters down. 2 still remain. We step aside. This is the NFL on EA Sports. Welcome back. Charles and I settled into the booth, ready for quarter number 3. And how about this right out of the locker room? An onside kick attempt. So the Chargers will start the second half with the lead and the football as we're underway in the 3rd quarter. A very interesting call and one that backfires. I know they're losing, Charles, but boy, to start the second half with the onside kick, risky.
Felt like a sense of urgency from their side, coupled with, you and I both know the special teams coordinators, they sell their key plays each and every week to the head coach, don't they? And I guarantee he's been selling this one. We can get it, coach, we can get it. And that came together with that sense of urgency you talked about.
But not much on that run, Charles.
No, that's exactly the way to execute a run blitz there. They guessed correctly that they would move the ball on the ground, honed in on it, and stopped them. Mark that down for a win in the defense's column.
Got a man, it's caught inside the 10. And they move this all the way down to the 9. That one goes for 30 yards.
When they've needed a play this year, he's certainly been the guy to deliver it. As this season has gone on, he's been awfully consistent and sometimes spectacular.
And this is caught. He's got it. Touchdown, LA. Gerald Everett with an amazing diving catch. And the Chargers are able to extend their lead. Extra point up and good by Dicker. And they open the lead up now to 25. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. Cannon now elects to bring this out. And no alley to be found. The coverage was solid, and he's dropped at the 18. And it appears we have a Charger shaken up on that last play. Now, this is just the last thing you want to see in the final week of the regular season. Well, I hope he's okay. We'll step aside and be right back. The Chiefs offense about set to begin this drive. They'll start the drive here with Pacheco. And they're going to get him behind the line yet again as his nightmare afternoon continues. Give all that credit defensively to Khalil Mack. A great stop in the backfield. Well, the first play of the drive lost 4. Now they'll look to move it forward here on 2nd and 14. Throwing now is Mahomes. This ball deep for Tony. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked off by Asante Samuel Jr. And he's able to take this one back to the 36-yard line. So still no touchdowns allowed by this defense. They get the interception there. CD, they have been rock solid.
And at this point, I think they have to expect that they're going to see some shots taken down the field. And that was almost a desperation throw right there, just kind of hoping something good can happen.
Look at this, middle of the field, a breakaway. And an excellent job of finding the opening as he's got this now all the way down to the 22. He's turning in a pretty impressive performance running the football, and a big reason why they have this nice lead.
And in days gone by, we would clip this out and put it up on the refrigerator, wouldn't we? Clip out the box score. Nowadays, not too many newspapers out there.
And now a fumble. The ball's out. Could have been a costly mistake, but as it turns out, they keep possession.
You can't give away these types of opportunities in the red zone. And I'm sure that was flashing through his brain as the ball escaped his hands. Fortunately for him, able to get picked up by his team, fumble recovered. They still have an opportunity deep in the red zone.
And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line.
Well, that was one of the few times they've been able to contain him thus far. He's over 100 yards for the game, but he lost a bit off his total on that carry.
Play action. It's Herbert. And the throw there going to be incomplete.
Whether that's a little grabbing, a little hand fighting, by any means necessary on 3rd down, he was able to get the job done in the secondary and swat that one away.
And his kick here is good. So he's been automatic to this point of the season, and he connects on the field goal there.
And what a luxury it is to have a kicker you can depend upon, partner, because he hasn't missed all year long. Converts on that one as well. And kudos to you. You didn't jinx him.
Cannon now elects to bring this out. And in hindsight, probably should have taken a knee as he only gets this out to the 16-yard line. The KC offense out of the huddle, ready for their next drive. Well, we haven't exactly been treated to a nail-biter in this one, CD, and if they cannot score here, this one's pretty much all but over.
All right, you saying that you feel like people are starting to think about getting out of here, maybe beating the traffic in order to get home or to their final destination?
Well, yeah, I don't think there's a whole lot of reason to hang around, especially if they can't score here.
Yeah, you're right about that, because it has been pretty clear who the better team has been in this one. And in a league that we talk about every game being a one-score game as we go into it, watching this blowout, let's just say it's been unusual.
Mahomes going to throw. That is caught. And they work this well upfield across the 45. Well, that's one way to convert on third down, picking up 26 yards. Well, the margin on that scoreboard, obviously, for them, it looks daunting. But I don't know, Charles. They're probably not focused on that right now. Maybe just chaining together a positive drive with plays like we just saw, giving themselves something to build on.
Yeah, I think you're right about that. And what they have to be careful of is getting glued to that scoreboard, trying to do too much. Because if you do that, you're all but guaranteed to start making mistakes. Just focus on one play at a time and make each one successful.
And he's going to get this inside the 30. 11 yards for number 11. That last throw moves him past 27,989 yards for his career, so that means he moves ahead of the blonde bomber, Terry Bradshaw, on the all-time list.
And boy, he loved to throw it downfield, didn't he? That's why he was the blonde bomber. Remember, he'd throw it downfield to John Stallworth and Lynn Swann. It was gorgeous. Big throws, big plays. Terry Bradshaw.
So from the 26-yard line, here's the 2nd and 9. Now here's Mahomes. And oh my goodness, here's a 5th interception. Picked off by Asante Samuel Jr. And the Chargers are going to get the football here as the ball will come out to the 20. The Charger drive about to get going. Here's Eckler to begin the drive. And they split the uprights last time for 3. They've got the lead. They're not going to play this conservative. They're not hoping for another field goal. They're hoping for a touchdown.
I'm with you on that one. I like where your head is. I like the way you're thinking, because you're exactly right. Trying to sit on a lead and play that way, that doesn't work too well for most teams. Run your offense. Run what you do best. Exactly. Put it all the way down and try to increase your lead in a big way. And the best way to do it, touchdowns.
And he's able to plow forward up to about the 29, just shy of the 30. 143 yards for him on the ground now, as he has been terrific here this afternoon. They'll try to pick up the first with Eckler. Boy, no chance, as he was met and dropped behind the line there. A loss of a yard, and it brings up 4th. Here's J.K. Scott now, as he's on to punt for L.A. Now here's a defensive timeout called by the Chiefs. And as the two teams talk it over on their respective sidelines, we take a break. Here's J.K. Scott now, as he's on to punt for L.A. It's taken to the 26. 1 quarter remains here as the regular season starts to wind down. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Back now at SoFi Stadium in Inglewood. It's the Chiefs with a football, but with work to do on the scoreboard. They trail as we start quarter number 4. The Chiefs offense about set to begin this drive. Where we stand right now in the 4th quarter, this one pretty much out of reach. And, Charles, I know they're going to be disappointed about several things with this ball game, but the self-inflicted wounds, they've had several turnovers. You would have to think that's going to be something they're going to discuss heavily in the film session in the coming days.
You're absolutely right about that, partner, because they're going to have to sit in that film room and watch every error that they made and figure out how to not do it in the future. And mentally, I think a lot of the guys are already starting to think about, okay, how do we put this behind us and get better for the next time out? This, they'll use as motivation for the rest of the time that they play to hopefully never be in this type of situation again.
Headed straight, it's Pacheco. And boy, this defense again really making things tough on him as they stop him for no gain. Now Mahomes throwing on 2nd down. And this is dropped. Oh, it's incomplete. He had a big gainer in his sights, but he could not reel it in.
And this is a situation where, as a head coach, you're just saying, what else could go wrong? Let's get it all out of our system, please. This has been a sloppy game throughout. The execution has been lacking. A lot of mistakes, both mental and physical. And here's a big play that goes by the wayside.
Now the throw on third down, knocked away and incomplete.
They lead big, and a major part of that has been how they've taken their play to a whole new level this second half. No points allowed since the break, and you can add another incompletion to the total number that they forced in this runaway contest.
Now Mahomes got to have this one. And he's brought down. Can't do anything with a football. It's a sack and a turnover on downs. The Chiefs tried it, but they're turned away on fourth down. And the Charger defense stands tall, and they get the football back. The Charger drive about to get going. We find ourselves here in the midst of a one-sided affair. A lot of fill time down the stretch, Mr. Davis.
So we could talk about food because that is something that you and I enjoy.
We share that.
We enjoy our time at the table. So maybe the best steakhouses in the city, but in all seriousness, the performances that we've seen this year, we've seen a bunch of great ones, and it's going to be hard to parse who's going to win the MVP.
Yeah, it really is.
Is it going to be a runner? Is it going to be a thrower? Can a defender finally win it this season? Those are the things that we could probably discuss.
And collectively, this is about as dominant of a performance as you could have hoped for on both sides of the football.
Might have to put it number one for what we've seen this season.
Running on first down, Eckler. He'll be stopped at the 35, but not before he picks up 7 yards.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where it'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge.
They're going to snuff this play out behind the line. We have not seen that much today. The Chargers on third down, not good. 0 for 4 thus far. This will be 3rd and 6. Now it's Herbert. Pass to the sideline and pulled in. And they will touch him down, but not before he gets the first. Well, that's one way to convert on third down, picking up 26 yards. Now we're 1st and 10 at the 11. They're going to go toss right side with Eckler. He gets this down to the 3, but no further. Brought the power run out of the bag and got a couple extra yards with it. 167 yards rushing for him now as he has been tremendous all day long. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the 4th quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So it's Charger football as we welcome you back from the 2-minute warning. They've got a 2nd down now as they look to salt this one away. The defense can stop it twice more as they take a knee here. The defense can stop it twice more as they take a knee here. And on 4th down, they come up and take the knee. So we were looking at each other up here in the booth when they went for that saying, oh, wow, talk about trying to add insult to injury.
Some teams are just like that. You know, some philosophies, some coaches are like, look, when I got a chance to put some more points on the board, I don't care what the situation, I'm going to do it. And they're also the same coaches as a general rule that if someone does it to them, you won't hear a people protest out of them. That's just who they are.
That'll be caught. It's Tony. And they're going to get this beyond the 40 before he's taken down. 36 yards on the play.
At this stage, there's nothing left to do but to keep firing. And if you're a play caller, you may go off your sheet and use some things maybe you hadn't planned to in this game. Maybe that was one of them there that worked.
That ball is caught. Marquez Valdez-Scantling. So this one's over. It's in the win column for the L.A. Chargers. And it was a game where they were off and running in the first quarter, Charles, and never looked back.
You know, partner, after a while, we always say the same thing, don't we? They set the tone early, right? They started fast, so I asked a few of my horses.